Hi, this is KG Literature Club. Welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome. So I'm writing this one research paper for school, and it happens to be about the Cold War, which is why I have all of these bad boys with me right now. And I didn't actually read them entirely. I read some chapters and flipped through some pages, but I'm going to rate them based on what I saw, because why not? Okay, so first we have The Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union. It's by Roland E. Pulaski. I'm not sure how to properly pronounce it, I'm sorry. Okay, so this book is just one big timeline of the Cold War, which is what you would typically want from a history book about this topic, but I just have one issue with it, and it is that it seems to give more attention to the West. This is not a personal issue in any way, because I'm Russian, but I just feel like since the title is the United States and the Soviet Union, it has to consider both sides equally, right? But this book is not like that. Again, I only read a couple of chapters of the book, and I don't have any extreme problems with it on an ideological level. I didn't see any extreme bias, but I would say that the title is somewhat deceitful, which is why I didn't particularly like this book, at least for my research. And so I would give it a 3 out of 10. Okay, so the second book is We Now Know, Rethinking Cold War History, and it's by John Lewis Gaddis. And it's kind of similar to the first book, except that it's better. The first chapter of this book talked about a much earlier time period in the 19th century, which I really liked because you can't just talk about the Cold War as it is. You have to consider all the prior events that led to this big conflict. And the other book did that too, but this book just does it more extensively and more in depth, which I really appreciated. I feel like this particular book is more opinion-based and leans more towards the West than the East, which is not great because in my opinion history has to be told from an objective standpoint, even though it's low-key impossible. But this book is still an interesting take on the conflict, so I would give this book a 6 out of 10. I didn't mind it. I kind of liked it. Maybe I'll read more of it in the future, but I'm not sure yet. The third book is called Stalin and the Bomb, and it is by David Holloway. So I only read the chapter on nuclear reactors because I wasn't really interested in the bombs, but I still found it really interesting. There was a lot of information that I never knew of, which is why the book stood out to me. Usually you see every history book about this topic kind of repeat the same information over and over again, like Cuban Missile Crisis this, Vietnam War that, but not this book. I mean, once again, I only read one chapter, so maybe my assumption doesn't apply to the rest of the book, but this is just how I feel about this one chapter on nuclear reactors. I would give this book a solid 8 out of 10 because I actually enjoyed it and the information was really interesting, and I didn't see a particular ideological lean, although maybe I'm wrong because I didn't read that much, but okay, so the fourth book is called Perestroika, the New Thinking for a Country in the World, and it is by Mikhail Gorbachev. Gorbachev was the president of the Soviet Union right before it got dissolved, and he was an active politician prior to that. This book is the one I read the least of, but it probably intrigues me the most out of all the books that I have here right now. So this book talks about Gorbachev's opinions on the state of socialism in the Soviet Union and his ideas on how to improve. His policies are not the most popular or admired. In fact, a lot of people hated them and look back on those times with negative feelings. So it was interesting to see how Gorbachev expressed himself in this book, because he actually sounds really passionate about improving the nation. Of course, this book is not an objective account of history because it's written by Gorbachev, but it is interesting to consider his perspective on things. I would give this book a solid 6 out of 10. So here's a bonus book. It's called The August Coup, The Truth and the Lessons. It's also by Mikhail Gorbachev. If life taught me anything, it's that the phrase "the truth" means that it's probably clickbait. I don't know if that's the case with this book because I actually haven't even opened it. It didn't quite fit my research topic, so I didn't come around to reading it. So I have nothing to base my opinion off of, so I can't really rate this book. Okay, so thank you for joining this rather pointless video because I don't think history books are that popular amongst like readers. So this probably is not helpful to anyone, but this is just an update on what I'm reading nowadays or like flipping through, you know? Okay, so thank you for joining. I'll see you next month. Peace out.